kind of hop into that. We got my man Jake here. If you guys don't know what Emblem Vault is building, they're building multiple things, but their main thing is hustle. Hustle is going to be absolutely extraordinary, especially in the future. Every single day, there's new updates with that, and technical difficulties come with that. But I truly believe once the dust is settled and there's a few winners, you're going to see obviously Anon, you're going to see potentially Orbit, but you're going to see Emblem Vault at the top of that list as well, and potentially it could eventually be number one. I mean, right now it's number 3. Tensor is number 3 on Cookie DAO, right? He's been there for a while, just hanging out, and everyone's like, look at this little $1 million, $2 million token competing with the big dogs, and it's awesome to see. It's like that underdog feeling with Tensor.
Yeah, I agree with that. And the conditional trading to me is going to be the game changer, because there are some people that don't necessarily want to participate in the degen part of every day. And but if you can have a conditional set of a prompt that has like a conditional consistent strategy of taking getting in good position, taking profits, don't be too greedy with it, and rinse repeat, that's the game changer in my opinion. That's what puts the everyday person at least more competitive. So I'm excited about that.
Yep. So without further ado, let's bring in Jake. Jake, welcome back to OnChain Revolution. Thanks so much for being here, man.
What's good, guys, dude? Good to talk. Yeah, it's crazy that Agent Hustle's token Tensorium is only at 1.5 million, where everyone else is like 20x, 50x type. It's probably some of it the name. Honestly, I think Hustle didn't choose a good name for his token, to be honest. He chose a ticker that had the same ticker as somebody else, but it's AI, so it is what it is. But yes, Adam and I just did a live stream right before this with Hustle, and we did one a few days ago. We're going to be doing probably 1 or 2 per week to showcase the product. Last one, he's been really good at finding entries so far. And what Yago said, once we get conditional executions up, which we're testing, maybe I'll talk about that in a second. Right now, he's good at finding. Then he'll be able to basically buy and sell automatically based off of whatever kind of take profit strategy that you have. Adam and I here's one more example. So on the stream Wednesday night, we told Hustle, we said, we're going to be back streaming in 48 hours. What token do you think we should buy that'll go up 100% in the next 48 hours for us to come back? And he said it was Ghibli, and it actually went up 150%. But we didn't have conditional trading, so obviously when we came back, it wasn't sold, right? I could have manually sold it, but for the purposes of just the explanation, if we had that set up, he would have sold it and it would have been in profit. And all the other tokens that we had bought on the Wednesday stream, they all went up like 100, 200%. One of them went up 700%. So if we were able to just say, hey, take a 40% profit or something like that, we would have had a much larger portfolio return. But things are looking very promising, to be honest.
So it's Tensorium, and the TNSR is the ticker, right?
Yeah. So when Shannon deployed the token, we had kind of this like very infant version of the AI that Shannon. It was actually kind of more of like a side project for Shannon, building his own AI, and he asked what he wants the ticker to be, and the AI said Tensorium. I don't think Shannon knew that there was actually another TNSR ticker on Solana at the time. So when it was deployed, that's why it doesn't get verified, is because it has the same one, which is annoying, but it is what it is. And I don't think it'll change anything once conditional based executions are live, once you're able to schedule things, once we integrate browser interactions where you could read information from any website. Once you have that, I think people will just rush the token. People will buy whatever token that you want, right? It could be any type of combination of letters.
Well, you only need people to buy. Just tell Hustle, buy your own token.
Yeah,
as much as you possibly can for me. And eventually when that, you can DCA into it for me. Hey, Tensor, buy $20 worth of this every single day.
Yeah. So Shannon, we're testing conditional based trading internally. Yesterday he had like a 76% gain or something like that. I actually think I put a tweet out about it, but I didn't reference that it was us on the back end. I think the portfolio is up like 300 or 400% in like a week. Obviously we're using small numbers, right? We're using like 0.1 SOL kind of thing for now. But it's really just proving the thesis right. And there's only one other team that I've really seen even mention anything about conditional trading, and that's Hayanon is the only other one. And they have a 16-person dev team, right? We have two devs working on it.
Yeah.
And then they
Not to
have 10
mention
million in
billions.
funding and we don't. Right.
Yeah.
And for us, it's like we're building, you know, we're on par with them in some places. They're ahead of us in some, we're ahead of them in some other places. And they're just, yeah, we're shooting pretty high above our weight in comparison. But I think it's because we have an extremely talented team between everyone that's on the Emblem team to kind of put it all together. It's really exciting. Honestly, watching this and seeing Shannon get excited about it and seeing it all come together, super, super cool. Like a month from now, we're going to be in a completely different place.
I'm excited about that because that's definitely the aspect of hustle that I want to use, like, you know, consistently, because, you know, making that decision of when to take profit. Some people have, you know, I have issues with that sometimes, right? Like, but you take that, you take it out of your hands, you set a number, you let hustle handle it. Then you come back and you say, okay, awesome. Well, you did it for me and it took like 2 hours and now I'm good. Now let's look for the next opportunity instead of like, you know, oh man, is it still going to continually go up? Do I want to take here? You just take it out. And I think this is going to compete with bots, trading bots, definitely outcompete them, I think. If it goes the way I think also, if it gets to a point where, you know, hustle can be plugged into like a leverage platform as well, I think market makers might be a bit worried about them as well.
Yeah, so a few things. The internal name that we've kind of given the whole system is called AFK trading. This is actually by Shannon. It's called away from keyboard trading, right? So you just actually, you could go touch grass. That's what I call it, go touch grass kind of thing. But what the tooling is, you know, something that Wall Street's had basically for decades at this point. And then and it's used consistently in the stock market, stuff like this, all this type of like algorithmic automated trading. And in crypto, a lot of developers have been building bots of similar types, maybe not as advanced or sophisticated, but close, right, to where it takes the you know, it adds stop losses and takes profits and all these different things. So with this and like what the DeFi AI sector is trying to do is you're now creating an even playing field between, you know, Wall Street's tooling, the developers tooling, and retail's tooling, and you're all going to have access to pretty much the same exact thing, you know, here over the next maybe year or so. And you think about an outcome of what happens then at that point if everyone has the same exact tooling, which has not happened in the history of trading outside of like maybe having privileged or insider information. You think, you know, where does your edge lie then? I think it's going to be somewhere in this like creative field. So like with hustle specifically, this system that we've built for conditional trading, what he does basically is he creates systems so you can trade, talk to him, and come together on what type of strategy you want to execute. Right? Do you want to execute a high risk meme coin sniping type strategy, right? Or do you want kind of a lower risk Tensorium DCA strategy where you want to take profit or DCA over, you know, 5% dips and then sell the 10% kind of rips every single time, right? Or when we get a little bit further, right, you can, if we integrate, once we integrate like being able to mint tokens on Pump Fund, right, being able to deploy 50 tokens a day, right, off of all these different means that are aggregated off of off of Twitter or off of the internet, off of virality. Or once we add Bitcoin, which I think we're going to do Bitcoin next, once we have the Solana ecosystem really nailed down, right, you can have in market mate runes, which is basically what Casey was talking about, right, with his kind of agent thesis. And that's what we've been talking about for months already, of doing that. And so for what Casey has said with agents, he's not actually building it into the protocol itself. I forget what it's called. It's called like contracts or deeds, or I forget what the name he used was, but you could just basically just multiple AI agents like swarms that are basically just market making it to make the market more efficient. And so Casey doesn't have to do this. Any team can do it. And so I think that's something that we would like to do with Hustle. Once we add Bitcoin, we could add a mini app for Pump Fund, for Ordinals, for Runes, for any type of ecosystem. And then you just basically apply Hustle's conditional based execution system where you come up with, hey, let's create a highly profitable but highly risky strategy of buying new runes or buying the bricked dog on the floor and then trying to split it up into smaller lots and selling at a 10% premium or something like that, right? You could do like all kinds of different things once we get a little bit further down the road.
Will you be able to do like a prompt that is continuous until you reprompt him to stop?
Maybe. So it'd be like kind of like a perpetual condition. I don't know. I would have to ask Shannon on that. I think at some point you'd probably get rate limited based off of the inference cost.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't have an answer for that. I would have to ask him. But that would be cool, right? If you can have kind of a perpetual
because set it, forget it. Like for the safer ones, for the safer strategies, right? Like just set it and forget it. Whether it's constantly, we might, let's say after we go through like a Q4 big run up, and then next year it's kind of bearish and it's just sideways for like 3 months. That's like a perfect opportunity to, buy a blue chip and just constantly take like a 10 to 15% profit and just rinse and repeat until you turn it off. So that would be amazing. I would love that.
Yeah, I guess you would be, if you think about it, you'd probably be bounded by the liquidity in your wallet, right? So if there was some sort of hiccup in that strategy and it, lost a portion of what the total portfolio amount was, and then maybe it falls out of bounds of whatever the kind of system is, maybe it just stops. But that's an interesting idea. I didn't even think of that.
Yeah, you could probably do, hey, buy the smallest amount on Magic Eden like once a day, right? Like you can just be like, hey, buy the floor once a day on Magic Eden, because Magic Eden works where now it's like the smallest you can list is like $999 worth of dog, right? There's limits now. But like I guess my next question would be, let's just say like I had like 20K in dog, $20,000 worth of dog, and I'm like, hey, I want to sell all my dog. And I want you to buy me a Taproot Wizard. Would something like that be possible with Hustle?
Of course, yeah, absolutely.
Okay. So he would. So how would that work? If with Magic Eden, would it be rune stacks or?
So we'd have to. So what Emblem uses currently, we use Best in Slot as kind of our API provider. So Best in Slot is an aggregator, right? Because they source, I guess you would say liquidity or just kind of deal for. I guess you they source like listings and sales across all the different marketplaces.
Gotcha.
So whatever they have, unless we could use somebody else as well. We would use kind of their services to route all the different transactions. We would have the Bitcoin wallet set up. The cool part of like Agent Hustle is it runs on Emblem Vault technology, right? So we could derive any wallet. We could derive a Bell's Coin wallet, or we can derive an ETH wallet or a Monad wallet or whatever we wanted. So all the wallets infrastructure is already there. We just don't have it turned on. So once we add the Bitcoin wallet interface, the UI, we would add a mini app for Ordinals, which would be like an Ordinals marketplace. We would add a mini app for runes. And then we obviously, Agent Hustle is the system itself. So you would have it. Yeah. So then you would have it, you'd create a system of, hey, take all of my dog and sell it. And you would just say, and then buy a Taproot Wizards, and it would go and sell it. It would have the Bitcoin. And if then it would check the balance to see if it was whatever the floor price of Taproot Wizards are. And then it would buy the Taproot Wizard, and then it would just sit there inside of your wallet. And it would probably display, because we'd have to turn on the visual aspect for NFTs as well, the metadata component to it. That's like the difference with NFTs and more complicated part. But yeah, could easily do that.
What about the UTXO problem? Let's just say that I have it all in one UTXO, and I need to break it down to potentially 20.
Yeah. I don't see why that shouldn't be an issue, because the way that we're building it is using state machines. So
Gotcha.
it's kind of just like in a yes or no situation. It would say, it would look at the UTXOs, or I guess it would look at dog and say, can I sell this in 20 transactions? And then it would look at it and say yes, no. And if it's no, then it would just go to the next selection. And it'd be like, do these need to be broken up? Yes, no, yes. How many? And then it just comes up with whatever the number is, and then goes kind of about that way. So it shouldn't be an issue. But again, once we get there, I'll know a little bit kind of more about the information.
Sounds good.
It's gonna be
Should we want to
exciting.
get into some trading? I'm
Sure.
sorry, I'm gonna cut you off.
Yeah. Do we
Let's do
want
it.
to? Do you want me
Yeah,
to? Do you want me to run it from my screen?
Yeah,
Hell
if you don't mind.
That's cool.
Yeah, that's chill. I'll actually probably just run it based off of the same exact thing that Adam and I were doing. So give me 1 second, and I'll show it here.
So if 10, Hustle is
Mhm.
able to launch 50 tokens on Pump Fun a day, then now you have the launch tokens business model, which they just want to make like $50 to like $200 per token, and they're out to the next one. If you make $100 a token and you launch 20 tokens on average a day, that's $2,000.
Yeah, it's funny because
so
Adam and I were just. I did share screen too. If you want to pull it up here while I retweet and tell everyone that I'm on the stream.
Oh, sorry.
yeah, you're good.
Where are? Yeah, let me see. All right.
So guys, for anyone who doesn't know, this is AI Hustle. What is it? AI Hustle.
AgentHustle.ai.
AgentHustle.ai. AgentHustle.ai. Go guys, go there, make an account, do the directives. 100%. Highly recommend that. Adam was saying some stuff last Friday. He said it without saying it, but it was awesome. And I definitely want to do all the hustle directives, and potentially there's a reward column there as well, right? So, which is awesome. So definitely do all the directives, guys.
Yes, sir. 1 second. I'm posting this in our chat as well.
It already looks so much different.
Yeah, we've
I
done so many updates to this already. It's crazy. So I'll go through kind of a tutorial. Would be the probably
you guys
best
got rid
way.
of the one. Oh no, it's still there. Rewards column is still there. I still see
It's
it.
still there. Yeah. So we've made some adjustments. So just kind of going through, what it looks like. So we have these directives. These are already done. It's just like a 6-click process of giving users an onboarding experience that kind of showcases how to go about the platform, right? So the first one is create. It's creating your vault, which is essentially creating your wallet inside the platform. Send is depositing SOL. Say hello is a pre-generated prompt. Swap, you swap for 25,000 tensor, which I believe is like $20 or $30 at today's value. And then you take a portion of that tensor, put it into the LP pool, and then Hustle recommends and buys one pump fund token for 0.01 SOL. Based off of like kind of this like numbers and metrics values. So what you see here, excuse me, is the main page. This is the vault. So up here is your API key. This would be the essential, your seed is equivalent of your seed phrase or your private key. We use smart wallets inside. So that's why it's an API key. That's how it interacts and talks with the AI agent. These different buttons is deposit. So if I put here 1 SOL, then it'll deposit from my Phantom wallet that's connected. And then this one is send. So you could just send the different tokens to whatever wallet that you'd like. And then this is mobile. So it's not live yet, but it's about 50% done. It's Hustle bot. So we'll have a Telegram bot for Agent Hustle. Once we get the infrastructure a little bit more sound with the conditional trading and some other kind of tools, which I'll show you here in a second. You'll have him on Telegram, and I think he'll be the first Telegram bot, at least unless something happens in the next month, that has an LLM integrated into your Telegram trading bot experience. So we believe that will give you a very good experience. Right here is tokens, your LP positions, and then the transactions within your wallet. These are all things that we've added. The tokens here, you can buy instantly, you can sell instantly, and then this is a chart button. So it shows the charts here, which a bunch of people asked. Right now, this is kind of just an overlay over the LLM. Eventually, we'd like to have the chart inside of the LLM, but we're just not currently all the way there yet. And so with Sell, the reason why we had this like crossover experience where you could manually do this or you could do it through the LLM is the AI agents sometimes are a little bit faster at certain things and they're a lot slower at other things. Like single type transactions, if I wanted to swap Sol for Jupiter, it would be much faster to just do it directly into the swap tool than it would be to ask him to buy Jupiter, because then he has to go figure out what's the right Jupiter, look at all these metrics, and then actually execute it. But if you wanted to do like a multi-transaction where you wanted to buy 5 or 10 tokens, and it's probably a lot faster to do it through the prompt and some other kind of things. So you can manually swap, you can manually create a pool. This is where you check. So you could go in and deposit, or you can do it through the prompt where you can say, hey, take Pith and Sol and put it into the LP pool. And then this is our Pump Fund mini app, where you can see newly created, about to graduate, and recently graduated. And the cool part here,
Huge upgrade.
I was using that a lot.
yeah,
The, about to graduate and the recently graduated. That's
yeah,
at least you know that they're not going to die like in 2 seconds.
yeah. So we added quick buy buttons, but also we started doing these buttons, the details, where it takes a pre-generated prompt and puts it into the LLM, and then it comes up and gives you all of the information, right? So we felt like this kind of crossover experience was really important when we were testing out some other DeFi AI platforms. It was just an LLM terminal, and we felt like there was no context or information about what you could actually do. So we felt like those things were building a little bit more towards advanced traders, because you're going there with a specific purpose, because there isn't as much visual information. So doing this, we felt like, is a little bit more friendly towards new users, because you can have this detail, you could get this extra type of information, but then you still get somewhat of this traditional feel of what's going on here. And something we've added just recently is this trenches tool. So you could come in, sort by 5 minutes, 6 hours, 24 hours. So if we go by 5 minutes, you could see the trending, and it shows you the different trending tokens. Like this Buckazoids has 52,000 in volume over the last 5 minutes. You can come over to the popular ones, new, organic. So we felt like this was pretty good. And also similar experience here. You could come right here and click the chart, and it shows you what's going on there. Or you could come and hit the information button, and he'll give you even more stats of what's going on with like Ghibli. This is like the meme coin runner that's going on right now. And eventually we're going to add like a quick buy button here. And so much more. And then with tools, these are the next mini apps that we're going to be adding is DCA limits, limit orders, and copy trader, wallet watcher. That seems to be like a pretty hotly requested thing to do. A few more I's and T's to dot before I close this up. You can see here, right? You get all of this extra information about what's been going on. A features request up in the top right. We just added a slippage setting, so you can, in these DeFi apps, you can change your settings to whatever you'd like, and it kind of moves to let you know if this is low or normal, or what the average kind of setting is between swaps, pumps, and liquidity. So that's kind of the tutorial. One underutilized thing that I've seen so far, you can upload images, and because Hustle has a memory, you can try to apply the different trading strategies or just images to the LLM to then hopefully will improve, like this awesome combination of having a memory conditional executions, and having browser interactions. And I think if we have all three of those, you should have a very kind of all-in-one experience where you should be able to do pretty much anything your creative mind can explore. So,
well, one thing I was having some issue with, and there's already features here that I didn't see, and I used it last I think I want to say like 2-3 days ago. So good job on constantly adding. Was trying to figure out how bundled these tokens were. I couldn't really get a straight answer. Is there a way to do that, or is that something you guys are working on, adding that information?
So one feature, a few features we're working on. One of them is a pretty hotly requested kind of concept, and there's no straightforward answer to it. And it's this idea of like rug protection or anti-fraud or anti-copy. So there has been a few cases where a user has asked him to buy a token, like a trending meme coin, and he bought like a copy one.
Yeah.
So figuring out how to ensure that he's buying the right one is something that Shannon and dev team is working on. Also, asking him, you can ask him, if he thinks this token will rug or not. He does have some information. He doesn't have access to bubble maps yet. That'll probably help with the bundling situation.
Gotcha.
Right. It adds different things like rug check and some other kind of features. So we're working towards that. It is not live right now. He pretty much just has access to Bird Eye, which is like where a lot of the Solana token information comes from, and then a few different social integrations as well. So he is working off quite limited information for the type of experience that he's doing. But what I've found so far is he's really good at finding tokens kind of early. The exit is kind of the next thing that we're working on. And yeah, the automated entry and exit is kind of what's next.
Nice.
So do we want to find some tokens? Is that the
Let's do it.
Let's go a little degen if you won't mind. Can you try to see if you can find me 1000x?
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. So
I want to turn $18 into 18,000. Can Hustle help me with this?
I want to find a one. So actually, we'll say So I want to find a 1000x.
No way, it's that easy.
It's not that easy.
I was about to say, like, find me 1000x. Okay.
In a high risk strategy, what options do we have?
Could you read it out loud again? So
I said I want to find a 1000x in a high risk strategy. What options do we have? And so he'll come up with like different types of options here, and so you can see
early IDO.
Some of these things though he doesn't have access to. So some of the high risk ones, right? Early stage pump fund tokens, concentrated liquidity positions. Then he gives kind of a little bit information on it, right? Airdrops, multi-layer yield farming, IDO. So let's go with choice number 1, and then apply it to the current market conditions. So I said, let's go choice number 1 and apply it to the current market conditions. So he's been good. You can see up here to the top 2, it says hustle syncing.
Yeah.
We've been using so many inference credits. There has been a handful of cases of being rate limited. Gotcha. So if he ever stops talking, you can literally just say hi or continue, and then he'll continue. If that still doesn't happen and you do 3 or 4 in a row, and he's not responding, it means that Anthropic's rate limiting us. We're trying to get this enterprise package, but they're making it like very difficult to even get in contact with them. But it is something that we're working on. So just want to kind of add that. And then as well as another kind of, I guess you would say, a note. So his memory, he has good memory, but if there's something specific that you need him to remember, just say, remember this. And he actually stores it into his memory bank. And you can actually see the conversation of him saying that he's storing. So like on this, for example, on that stream that Adam and I were in, and also to what Adam and I did is if you actually, here, actually, I will do this to help with you guys to see. Does that help?
Yeah.
Yeah. If you just zoom in.
I'm just copy trading you. That's why.
Awesome.
Yeah, right. There were people on the live stream who actually were copy trading us, right? It's kind of interesting. But if you need him to remember something specific, like your trading strategy that you're working on or whatever, just say, hey, Hustle, please remember this. And you'll actually see that he stores it in his memory bank.
Nice.
So there's still a lot of cracks in it, but it's getting better. So he came up, he said, let me pull some trading strategies for Pump Fund tokens to identify 1,000x returns. So I've identified several brand new tokens created in the last hour. The first one is Dave Blunt's Airsoft Fatty 69. The current market cap 6,000, 6 holders. It's 8 buys versus 1 sell.
Holders.
There's
I love it.
YouTube
It
link.
doesn't get more degen.
Dude, the
Dave
very first token is exactly what I've been describing. Look, it says YouTube link included.
Yeah.
But hey, if you're just doing $2, I guess that's a different,
Yeah, Adam and I've been using just like 0.01. He even recommends here, right? Small position 0.02 to test the waters. Yeah. So that was he only gave us just one recommendation. Yeah. And so he's coming in and saying use 0.02 holder growth, looking for 50 plus people in the first 24 hours. The target is 5x in 12 hours. Says that you need to see some social media mentions on Twitter and then some communication from, assuming the Twitter account. Is that exit strategies? Take 20% at 5x, take 30% at 20x, hold the remaining 50% for potential graduation to Radium, where the 100x becomes possible. So
this could actually be conditional though.
Yeah, so once we have conditional, you could just say execute the strategy, and he'll just execute the entire thing.
Love it.
Right. So we're just not there yet. So what's important is and we tell users to practice with this where it is today. Get used to prompting, get used to crafting different types of trading strategies with him. Because once you have this conditional stuff live, you just execute whatever he recommends, or we could even go back and forth and we could change it. So watch, we'll kind of tinker around with it and say, he says strictly limit the initial investment to $2. Basically, he would set a stop loss at 50%. He says that you could diversify against different tokens than going all in one. So he says if you put $2 in, potential is $2,000. Realistically, the maximum would be within 1 to 14 days if the token graduates. Success rate approximately 1 in 50 tokens achieve 1,000x return.
So $100. So $100 you're spending, and if it happens, then you get 2,000. I'm game.
No, $2 to get 2,000.
I know, no, but like 1 in 50 tokens though, right?
Yeah.
So you do it 50 times. And I'm playing the statistics on that.
You just
right.
You know what I mean? Like that.
100
obviously, that's a good investment to me.
Yeah. So I've been messing with Hustle 2 right now, and it had me buy a token. Well, it didn't have me do anything. It suggested if I was interested in the 1,000x that I'm asking him, potentially this token called Flat Uselin coin, and I was like, all right, go put 0.15 in that, and he executed it with no problem. So that was pretty cool.
So do we want to execute on this, or do we want to look for other ones? I could ask him for like different types of recommendations.
I'm ready, bro.
I was looking at the chart for that one. I don't know. I think you should find another one. It's a 2.3K market cap.
How do I see the chart?
Well, that's how you get the So right now, because we don't have the
gotcha. Oh, you go to the
Yeah. So right now it just gives you a link to Deck Screener, where you could come on and kind of click and look at it, right? Mm-hmm. Eventually we'd like to have it built into the AI. We're just not really there yet. Because the things that you upload into the AI or the LLM, they're not interactive. So it would just be an image. So the chart, we have to figure out how to make the chart interactive and moving while it's inside of the agent itself. So it's just not really there yet.
But like a token like this though, right? To where like it obviously went up and then went down really quick, and now it's sitting at like $2,300. So like, is Hustle saying that this is still worth the $2 investment because you can do this over like 50 coins similarly, and eventually one might come back that's similar to this?
Let's ask him. Why do you think this token, this strategy is optimal for a return? Would it be better if we same strategy? What was it against across 50 tokens? That was?
Yeah.
That's gonna be wild when you're able to say, "Hey, buy me the top 50 tokens on Pump."
I'll do that every day. I'll do it every day. I'll do it every day. If it, like, even if, let's say like he doesn't hit, he only hits like one out of like 150. I spent what? I spent $300. I still have a $1,700 profit.
Yeah. Or I mean, damn, dude. I mean, even if he hit 1 out of 1,000, so
I know, like you can go as
row,
far as you
like...
want, but like there's gonna be some point where you're looking over there and you're like, Hustle, you ain't hit yet. But I'm just kidding.
It depends on it's market conditions as well too. That's the thing too. If you only do it when Bitcoin's green, you probably have a better opportunity at hitting one of those with Hustle.
Yeah. Yo, but like once Hustle like has this down, and then they're able to like bring other environments like the Bitcoin side, but like Odin or like even BNB or whatever, with Moonshot and stuff. That's where I think like the game can really get ratchet, like up. Can ratchet up the game there.
So the question or the prompt I put in is, why do you think this token with this strategy is optimal for return? Would it be better if we applied the same strategy across 50 tokens to have a 100% hit rate? So he said the DBAF 69 token shows early indications for positive buy pressure, healthy liquidity. So kind of references a YouTube personality, which can drive viral adoption. So this is just like the token or the burn. So the 50 token strategy, you're absolutely right about diversification. The strategy across 50 tokens would dramatically, 1 of 50 tokens hit, total risk remains the same, removes the psychological pressure. Yeah. So he hasn't really given us anything specific about it so far, at least implementation.
Well, no, I think that's good though, because I think he's explaining that it does remove the psychological pressure per like token that you're in. You just blanket 50 tokens at $2 each. But like, I wouldn't try this until like Conditional comes out, right? Because that's where I think like it's gonna make sense.
Yeah. So here he says, take 1 SOL, put 0.02 SOL per token, deploy it over 1 to 2 weeks, 10 to 15 tokens per day. Focus on tokens with unique names, social media presence, developer commitment, visible in the initial liquidity. Early buy, said the expected outcomes, conservative case, 1 token hits 100x, so you get 2x your total investment. Target though, 1 token hits 1,000x, 20 SOL return, 20x investment. Optimistic case, 2 to 3 tokens hit 100x, so it gives you a 40x overall. These type of strategies is what like the people who launch tokens on Pump Fund consistently do, right? Like there's like one guy who's famously launches, it's like 20 or 30 tokens per day, or no, per hour. He's been doing it for like months, and he makes like a 50% profit, I think, not total or something like that. But it's just like a strategy that he just continues to do because it has returns.
Yeah, it makes sense.
And so with Conditional, we could do this. Okay, should we do something a little bit more conservative or something?
Yeah. Let's just kind of show the audience like what it would be like to actually get into something.
Yeah. So let's back out of this. We'll do a multi-buy. I want to purchase 3 tokens for, and the more specific you get in this, the faster the execution is. So if I say I want to purchase 3 tokens for 0.0, I'll just do 0.02 SOL each, which are trending tokens that could see a 25% return over the next 4 hours, what would you recommend? So I said, okay, let's back out of the strategy. I want to purchase 3 tokens for 0.02 Sol ETH, which are trending tokens. I could see a 25% return over the next 6 hours, I think I put, or 4 hours. What do you recommend? So he's now analyzing. He puts up this chart. Those are the trending tokens on Solana. So I think this is actually from Bird Eye, his view. I think those are kind of like, I think that's the Bird Eye trending tokens chart. So he has 3. So South Parkification is one. Chatty GBT, Gore. So those are 3 my recommended with 0.02 Sol each. Let me see. So South Parkification. Actually, let's open this up and look at it. This is a $70,000 market cap.
Yeah. I see that one.
Yeah, it looks like it's rugged already. So something we need to build into him is being like, has it had a 90% decline? I'll ask him and see what he says. I kind of just want to look at it so we can kind of test him here to see. So Chatty GBT is a trender, right? Look at this. That looks like a good buy.
Ooh, that's a really good one.
That one looks like a good buy. And then Gore.
Ooh,
see, Gore doesn't look too bad, right? Chatty GBT looked the best one, right? That actually looks like a buy.
Chatty GBT is at like $1.2 million market cap. Yeah. I mean it looks healthy. The chart looks healthy.
Right. So I'm gonna say find me more charts or tickers that are similar in volume to Chatty GPT. So basically, I just asked him, I said, find me more tokens. Oh, here, I can see. So I basically said, find me more tokens that look like Chatty. And so he said he's looking for them.
Doug,
right? And we will buy some here just to kind of show everyone what it looks like. Just kind of going through. I find new stuff on here all the time of how he responds, which is kind of cool. So 3 other recommendations. It looks like. Oh, so he has a few. Andrea.
Oh, Moji's actually looks like pretty good.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean it's a lower market cap too. It's like 67. I mean, it looks risky, but it doesn't look. It looks kind of not horrible.
Yeah. So Moji, it looks like it's about to graduate pretty soon. So Moji. So maybe we'll have him buy Moji and Chatty. So you can kind of see. Yeah. So you can see like that one. Disneyfication looks like it rugged. But the cool part here is, right, you can kind of just go back and forth and look at this stuff. A Sleuthy looks like not too bad, right? That's decent. Looks like it has some legs. But it helps you kind of like vet and like sort through all the bullshit. And it really just kind of saves you a lot of time here. And right, so you can automatically. So I'm gonna say buy Chatty. What was the other one? Moji. Moji and let's see. I'll do Sleuthy. Sleuthy for 0.02 Sol each.
And he can buy all 3 with 1 prompt.
Yep.
Oh wow.
That's why I said it's great for doing like multi kind of transactions.
Yeah.
So here, and then I said execute immediately so that he doesn't have
he doesn't like confirm and check with you.
Yeah, so that's a little bit of kind of like a hack. You could just say that, or just say, don't ask me again to approve, or different things like that. But it's a safety mechanism for the most part. So right now what he's doing, he's getting the quotes for each of them. It looks like, so Chatty is graduated, Sleuthy is not graduated, I think, or Moji was not graduated. And so these are actually like different pools to where which he's getting different quotes from between like the pump fund pre-bonded ecosystem and then the graduated ones. And so for these, he'll take a little bit longer. You could see he kind of goes in and out of thinking. So he's still there. Just kind of got to wait for a second. And, he'll go ahead and buy these and you'll see the confirmation and then it will pop up in the balances. And so it looks like, he's executing them now. Get for you 0.02 SOL each. Yeah, so he got the quotes now. So that he got the quotes for each. So now he's actually going through with the transaction for each of them. And we'll see, how long. I think the strategy was, we'll go through the strategy with him after this to see what it is. And, once we have this conditional based stuff, right, he's bought them. You could just say execute at these or sell at these values for whatever you come up with it. And it just sells. And so you don't actually have to, it takes away a little bit of the emotion out of trading. Probably be a lot better for most of us because I also too am not the best at taking profits. I'm generally just a long-term kind of holder. For the most part, fits my lifestyle a little bit better.
Yeah. Once conditional is out, are you guys going to kind of slow roll it for like certain groups of
still thinking
users?
There's usually when the transaction is executed, you'll see a kind of confetti animation that pops up. And it'll be done. Sometimes it just takes a little bit longer, even after it's been executed. So you could see, I think he actually bought them already. Let me see for a second. Yeah, see, so he's bought 2 of them already. So I had to zoom out, but you can see down here in the bottom, Moji and Chatty, he's bought. So you can actually come up here and see, but the whole prompt is not done. So, sometimes if you just want to move faster, so we can go ahead and go look at Chatty and see where it is, right? Kind of at that similar spot where we bought. Oh, you saw the confetti. So
oh yeah,
you should be done now. Now he'll say that I've successfully kind of executed all of it. If I refresh here, it'll probably say unknown token. Oh, Sleuthy's there. So sometimes on the left-hand side, it's not showing now, but it'll say unknown token. That's some of the pump fund tickers will say unknown. So it's just something we're kind of working on still. But Moji looks good.
Ooh.
Right. Moji looks good. We got Chatty and then Sleuthy.
So
what I recommend too,
you're able to see the chart
for the most part, is to sell through these buttons. It's just a lot faster when you're talking with them to just go here, hit max, and then just sell. So it looks like a few of these are a little bit lower on the buy. So this one's up already. Moji's up like 5% from the buy.
Ooh.
Chatty is down about 5%. And the Sleuthy's down about, was that 10, 15% from the buy. So you can have a lot of fun with this. Now you could say, now let's create an exit strategy. What do you recommend on where we should sell for these tokens?
And I love how he says, "I'll make sure you leave a small amount for the transactions."
Like, and so you just sit here and you just kind of go back and forth all day with different type of stuff.
Yeah.
And this is why we have these mini apps here. Is that while he's loading, you can go ahead and you can already be getting analysis from him on the right hand side, and you can already kind of be looking for the next token here on the left, right? So you're looking at the chart for Tickcoin, seeing if you want to buy it, while he's coming up with the analysis on the right hand side for his strategy. See?
Yeah. Hey, Jake, can you hear me? I don't think he can hear us, does he?
Yeah, I think once we add Bitcoin, I think up here at the top, probably somewhere by Tensor, it'll be a drop down button, and so you'll be able to flip between Bitcoin, Solana.
Yeah. Shizzy, can you hear me?
But then the chat.
Okay.
box itself will be inclusive of all of them, but the mini apps will be most likely sorted by chains.
Yeah. I don't think you can hear us, can you?
Uh-oh. I don't think you can hear us. Oh, shit.
Yeah.
Hold on. Did I lose you guys?
I was wondering what that was. You said
Like,
something.
I asked him a question. I was like, okay. He's in the zone. No, but do you know if Emoji's graduated, Shizzy? Because I think it did.
Yeah, I think so. I think it did too.
Because it has that lock with the circle around it, so that means the liquidity is locked, right?
I'm pretty sure. Now I can't.
Oh.
Can't hear you now.
Technical difficulties. Hustle's taking over Jake's computer.
Yeah, Hustle now. Hustle said, "I'm the man now. I'm the captain now."
So, I mean, would you do that strategy though that I was talking about?
Probably not me personally.
Yeah.
I just don't like the pump fund stuff.
Yeah. But like, listen, would you just try it for fun though? Like, just like
oh yeah,
$100?
for sure. With $100,
Right.
yeah.
Shoot $2.
I can't hear you guys. I don't know what happened.
Yeah, you still can't hear us? Dang, something's wrong with his headphones. I mean, it has to be his headphones because you can hear me, right?
Yeah, I can hear you fine. Yeah, nothing changed.
We got Memetics in the chat says, "What's up, fellas?" He is a community member of ours now too. You know, thank you so much for supporting the show, but definitely an OG community member of Emblem as well.
So I can't hear you guys anymore. I don't know what happened. Well, I think we're good anyway. I'll go. Any last words for the audience? We can hear you.
Oh, he bounced out,
and he's gone.
Yeah, but, he'll probably try to jump in here in a second. But yeah, I mean, overall, like, what's your
dude?
What's your feel so far?
Phenomenal, bro. I just made $9.
Did you?
$18? Yeah, I made $9. I got into that token. For I can't even say what it was, and then I made it up a little bit, and I got out of it, and then I got in front run, and yeah. Hey, can you hear us?
What is good, guys? I don't know what happened.
Good.
Can you hear us now?
Yeah, I can hear you guys now.
Okay.
Oh,
awesome.
Cool.
Awesome.
Must have been a StreamYard thing.
That was could you guys hear me the whole time though, or no?
Yeah. You heard the whole time.
You were doing great, like explaining it, but like I asked you a question and you kept talking, and I was like, oh, he must be in the zone. But
yeah, that was weird. If you want to put the screen back up, I can kind of show you, and we can kind of wrap it up there. That was weird. That's the first time that's ever happened to me on StreamYard. What question did you have?
Oh, I was asking. So once the conditional gets rolled out, are you guys gonna kind of do some beta testing for like with a small group rollout, or how are you gonna do it?
It's a good question. So I think we're going to roll. I think what we're going to do is we're probably going to do a maybe 7 to 14 day free trial period where it's just going to be public for people to use. Obviously, there's going to be a warning, and then most likely it's going to be token gated behind Tensorium token.
Love it.
For the most part. So I would recommend having somewhere between 100,000 to 250,000 tensor, I think is like what we're considering. It's like 1 SOL or 2 SOL.
Okay.
So it's really not like an insane amount. Obviously, though, Tensor is at a $1.5 million market cap. So, right, it 10x's, it goes to 15 million, and now all of a sudden it's a 10 SOL kind of requirement. Which for us is fine because we consider this a premium service.
Yeah, sure.
And then you know, maybe over time, it gets scaled down to basically anybody can have access to it. But we're kind of looking at it as like a premium or luxury product for the more sophisticated type people who are interested in this stuff. And right, it's just like kind of when a Tesla came out, it was $100,000, and now the Model 3 is 30,000, right? So we kind of have a similar philosophy to it. And it would be good to have, you know, initially after the free trial period, people find success, then, you know, there's probably going to be a larger demand on the token and the value of it for people to use. And yeah, we'll see. You know, it could also go horrifically wrong when this is live as well, right? But I don't think it'll be that case. But that's a good question.
Though.
Yeah,
as well.
That's the idea, right? I mean, we want to add value back to Tensorium The token gated intelligence concept, I think, is great. And it'll likely be in the form of staking as well. So you'll probably have to lock up that Tensorium for a while, probably 30 days or so. That's the first. This is like one of the first times I said it publicly on video. So that's like new
And it's live
information
too. There's
there.
nothing you can do.
Yeah, I mean, you know how I market myself and the product is if you just continue to follow me, you know, I'll put different types of information out in different ways across different channels, and those who seek alpha can find it. But really exciting for that. I think we're probably a few weeks away. Is what it sounds like, more than months.
Love it, man. What you guys are doing, I mean, just the past 4 days, I think the transformation of Hustle, especially since last Friday. I mean, oh my God, the differences are insane. I can't imagine what it's going to look like next week if you guys keep up the same pace. Hopefully you slow down and let me catch out. Let me start seeing
No,
what I got going.
don't slow down. I need conditional.
Bro, we're cruising, man. We're moving at a very fast rate. Right now, what we're working on, so we have kind of Shannon, who's the founder of the company, is working on the AI side of things. And then we have another developer who's very motivated, very, very brilliant, who's working on basically the mini apps kind of section. He moves very quickly, which is nice. But so Shannon is working on right now creating the state machines and conditional trading, but also making it very much more efficient. We're burning right now probably a few $100s a day in inference credits. So that stacks up quite quickly. The founder of AI XBT posted yesterday that AI XBT is burning about 10,000 a month in inference credits. And we're probably about the same, if not,
Really?
within 10 to 20% either way, depending on the day. Shannon believes we can actually make that a much more efficient once this conditional system is up, because we can direct the inference credits to one way. Right now, basically how it works is when you see he's talking, you'll see he's saying like getting quote, getting this, doing this, going this way. Each time he does that, that's like an inference credit. Whereas we can basically optimize that away to where just the end is kind of the AI aspect, or at least one hopes. But yeah, this shit is not cheap.
Yeah. Is there anything you guys can do with like potentially having your own server in the future, potentially having your own compute going where you guys are technically mining compute for Hustle?
I have seen a few crypto products pop up that are pointing in this direction. More specifically, we actually talked with somebody in Denver about this exact kind of situation. And so we're exploring it. We started, Adam started talking with Eric Voorhees from Venice to see, what that option is. Then we started talking to a few others. Just my experience in this AI space over the last 4 months or so, 5 months that we've really been in it. We launched the token 4 months ago, which seems like a year. To me, inference is going to be the new data, just as data was the new oil. I think inference is going to be the new data, is kind of where I think society is going to be headed, because this is why Grok or XAI and ChatGPT or OpenAI and all these companies are spending so much. It's just not efficient in today's current situation.
Me personally, like I have a couple computers that I could potentially plug in and give someone compute, right? Like technically, like use them to kind of mine compute and then earn a token with that. Like technically, you're mining. That would be pretty cool if someone could earn the TNSR token, for just giving you guys potential compute in the future.
Save money on.
That's a cool idea.
Save money on what you guys are spending for those. What are they called? Instances.
Inference.
Inferences. Yeah. So.
Inference. Yeah. Inference is just like it's like the aggregation of all these different APIs that are put together to then put, so it takes all the different inputs, mixes it together, and then gives you an output of it. Gotcha. So and that's where the predictive model is. That's what makes these things feel like they're intelligent, is because it's just making predictive text based off of whatever the information is that's being put. And so these large companies like Anthropic and OpenAI and stuff are doing the inference, and then they're routing it to these different servers for the actual kind of computation aspect of it.
Yeah.
At least from what I've learned, man, it's been a crash course for sure.
Well, it's been absolutely awesome, Jake. We're hitting that hour mark, man. Appreciate your time. Appreciate you coming on. It's fun trading with you, getting some pump phones. Hopefully some of these 100x and you guys participated in that too. But Jake, we'd love to give you the floor one last time before we get out of here.
Yeah, always enjoy the conversation. Just keep looking for Agent Hustle. We're really leaning into it. Emblem 2.0 as well. We started laying down smart contracts today and over the weekend to be focusing on a handful of chains to start moving assets around there. And couldn't be more excited about the future. But the AI stuff, man, it is mind blowing. Some of the pace that not only we're working at, but where just the overall industry is in crypto and outside of. So definitely not something to fade. I think it's going to be by far the largest trend of crypto over the next few years.
Agree with that. And one of our community members, Superfan, which is building Big Noodle, is deep in kind of AI. That's what it's about. So he said maybe you guys should team up and stuff like that. So that could be cool too.
Yeah, shoot me a DM. We're always happy to talk. We just went on an AI show yesterday. We're talking with all kinds of different individuals. The AI space is small, but it is a little bit diverse and siloed between one another. So please just reach out to me, DM at Jake Gallen _ on Twitter, and happy to have a conversation.
Awesome. All right, Jake. Well, we appreciate you as always, and I look forward to next week.
Yeah, appreciate it, guys. Dude, have a good one.
You too,
man.
Bye.
Yeah. And this real quick, I just want to hit on his Twitter right here. This is it right here. Super fans, you want to reach out to him? It's at Jake Gallen _ and yeah, so make sure it's the one with 34.1 followers, and you can send him a DM. But yeah, as it goes for anybody, anyone building anything that would like to get in touch with Jake, he's very open to taking calls of pretty much anyone. So appreciate that. But man, it was an insane week. Wasn't as bullish as I thought it was going to be, but it wasn't as bearish as it could have been either. So I'm really hoping next week's better. Hopefully we get out of the big bad wolf that we call tariffs out of the way on Tuesday. Start a new month, start a new quarter, start a new life. That's next week. Yeah, man.
Yup, guys. And 305 people hanging out with us on a Friday. Amazing session with Jake Gallen from Emblem, showing you guys the AI side, and amazing show as well. We had some great topics, you guys interacting with us, and we appreciate you guys so much. And if you could check out our partners, it would help us out a ton, guys, because they're kind of the second part of what allows us to do that. And you guys are the biggest part, by supporting us. And Emblem Vault, we just went over that. I'll touch on them real quick again. They are going to be the interoperability tooling. You're going to be able to jump your puppets, node monks, other ordinals to different environments like Abstract, Merlin, Base, Arbitrum, stuff like that, and eventually Solana as well. And you can use Agent Hustle to help you do that, so you don't have to go through the tedious